Uh, Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, Today we discuss the seed viability, marketing, and treatment. So, in the seed viability, what is seed viability? That last class we are discussed the seed structure and dormancy and remaining topics. Discuss that one. So today will be an important topic, that is the seed viability. Very important in these seed technology topics. So, what is seed viability? Means there means that seed viability means the capable of germinating of the seeds, which is producing the normal seedlings. So, the viability denotes the degree to which the seed is alive, metabolically active, possess enzyme capable of catalyzing the metabolic reactions, which is needful for the germination and seedling growth. That capacity we call as a seed viability. So here some factors which are affecting to seed viability. So these factors are essential when we are to observe the during the seed viability. So what are the cultivars and harvest variability? So cultivars means varieties. Different cultivars and harvest of species maybe show the different viability characteristic under some storage conditions. Means during that harvest means if we are to harvest early stage, the seed viability is very less. So mature seeds only we are to harvest. So that is the most important, and a significant difference in viability period exists between the genotype within the species. Cultivars means within the species, the different species are there. So these within the species they have the different varieties are there. So what are their initial viability? So initial viability, it has been established that healthy, well-matured seed with the high initial germinating capacity will retain viability for a longer period than that of the seed having low initial germinating capacity. So that will be another one, pre-harvesting and post-harvesting condition also. This factor is also very important. So pre-harvesting and post-harvesting. Storage of maturity at harvest was found to influence both viability and longevity of seed. The seeds harvested at pre-milk stage were inferior in the most instances, both viability and longevity. Seed harvesting either to the dot or mature stage. So in early stage, which is also most important. The treatment to which the seeds are subject around harvest time may affect subsequent loss of viability. So this one is the most important, pre-harvesting and post-harvesting. So another important factor, injuries. The seed may be mechanical injuries. So infected during the harvesting can several reduce the viability of some seeds. Example, large seeded legumes. The presence or absence of surrounding structure of the seed during the storage itself can influence viability. Example, cereal grains with the so the several reduce the viability of some seeds. The presence and absence of surrounding structure of seed during the storage itself can be influence the viability. Note that. So injuries those to vital parts of the embryonic axis usually bring about more rapid loss of viability during the storage than the injuries that which is located where the so that is the best method for the test of seed viability. That is the tetrazoolium test, and for the vigorous means the seeds which is the vigorous capacity means germination capacity to produce the more than their parents, yielding capacity more than their parents. That is the vigorous. So germination test is the best condition of the germination test is the best indication of the potential of seed lot to emerge under field conditions. It takes from days to weeks and in some cases even months to complete. This necessitates the development of rapid methods for estimating the germination behavior of seeds, out of which the tetrazoolium test, which is known as DZ test for the seed viability. The test is very useful in the processing, handling, and storing the marketing large quantity of seeds in short term. The test is fermented seed lots, vigorous rating of seeds lots, and supplementing the germination test result and diagnosis, which is the seed deterioration. So, what are the advantages of these tetrazoolium tests? So, some very important aspects in the tetrazoolium, that the seed viability can be seed viability that can be estimated using the tetrazoolium is a much shorter time as compared to germination test. Therefore, this test is bit suitable for the rapid evaluation of a large number of seed samples. So another important, the technique can be used even which is the dormant seed, whether seedling growth is extremely slow. So alternatively, this test can be combined with the germination test to conduct dormancy. Since tetrazoolium tests require a close germination of seeds, seed analysis can often get an idea of reason for poor viability of seeds. Since dicard seeds need not to be damaged during the tetrazoolium test, the same seed could be utilized for the further germination or further investigation also. So some disadvantage also there during the tetrazolium test. So that is the evaluation of staining pattern and their interruption in terms of shade variability is difficult, which is the considerable experience and in starting work is very important. So the total work which is involved in these tetrazolam tests is the great number of man hours and then does not germination. So this test alone is unable to differentiate between the dormancy and non-dormancy seeds. That is very important. So those whose seeds are dormant and which are not under the dormancy stage. It is not possible to presence mating seedling. So in microorganisms, so fungicides and fungins may not get detected. This is also very important. Another topic is the genetic erosion. The term which is means genetic erosion will describe the process of displacement of old indigenous land races and varieties by new or high yielding varieties. So which is equal to loss of genes. So the first observations regarded the loss of local varieties from farmers in the field in terms of their number. And are there specific genetic variation or specific alleles or either gene examples? So this is used the broad sense of loss of varieties or species has the latter been changed to explicitly included also reference to those loss of alleles. So that is the considering the main unit of conservation of the gene and its allelic form. Define the broad sense meaning of the term also as gene displacement or genetic erosion. So genetic erosion is an absolute loss of so that is the use of an absolute loss of evidences of genetic erosion ignores and dynamic nature of so this approach only looks at what has been lost and not at what has replaced this lost material. The genetic erosion has a reduction in the richness A reduction in richness is better indicator for genetic erosion as it does recognize the dynamics in the system. A reduction in richness is always accompanied by an absolute loss, but an absolute loss does not necessarily simply a reduction in richness. As a loss may be compensated for by novel diversity. So the genetic erosion is the reduction in events. Genetic erosion as the reduction in events originates from the diversity indicate used in vegetation ecology and population genetics. So this one is using these events as a measure for genetic erosion offer the opportunity to take action before a reduced diversity result in absolute loss and reduced richness. So furthermore, it is not an sensitive to simplifying produce as compared previous measures. So considerable overlap between these three views and the genetic variation exists, and most studies include a combination of the different approaches. Analysis of genetic variation at different levels of integration. So first one is the loss of crop species. So loss of crop species, genetic erosion as reflected in the assemblage of crop used in agriculture was also recognized by the farmer. The number of crops we grow has been declined slightly. A trend towards the regional crop specialization as agriculture develops. The process resulting the reduced events and richness in the crop species at regional scale. Varietal erosion. Varietal erosion, the genetic erosion as the loss of varieties, sometimes described as varietal erosion. The focus of most of these studies has been the transition stage in the land race are replaced by the modern cultivates. So here the two approaches to quantify the loss of land races has been used. That is the first approach is comparison of number of land race or botanical varieties found in the area during collection missing at two different times. So the second approach is the interviewing the farmer about land races commonly grown in the area. The third one is the genetic erosion reflecting pedigree. So this one is the pedigree studies has been used to an attempt to overcome some of the problems in the assessing the diversity based on varieties. So using information on ancestors These studies estimated the distinctness of cultivars and the extent to which the old hand races are present in the pedigree of modern cultivars. So that is okay. So in this one, genetic erosion is the most important topic. So coming to the unit 5, that is the marketing. So marketing is the so means seed marketing is one of the most vital component of seed technology. Nowadays, the market is very demand. Depends on the size scope of the seed industry. So, which is the activity as production and processing, storage, quality control, and marketing of seeds is major components in the seed technology. So, selling of packets, intermediate storage, delivery, and seed promoter, sales promoters. These are very important in the marketing field. So, demand forecasts, the assessment of effective seed requirements is critical to any planned seed program. The underlying the principle in making the demand forecast should be the seed supply keeps pace with the seed damage. So, which is in the terms of qualitative, quantitative, price, and place, time, these are very important. So, in the making demand forecast, the following factors which is considered as carefully. So, the total cultivated uh, acreage, seed rate, quality replacement period, and assessment of total potential seed requirement of each of the important crops. The impact of extension effort on the introduction of improved production techniques and future plan for the promotion. So current acreage now under the high yielding varieties and amount of seed sold in the last year. So kinds of publicity and sales promotion that are the most effective. So climate of the area where the seed is being marketed. Assessment of potential effective seed damage of market based on total seed requirement for the remaining crop area are covered by uncontrolled production material obtained from the previous crop production. So that is the significant iteration for 3 or 4 generation. Therefore, individual farmers only need to replace the seed of self-pollinating varieties every 3rd or 4th year. The demand for high quality seed of self-pollinated crops is normally not higher than 25 to 30% of the total requirement of area. That's very. So marketing structure. So that is the marketing structure. Seed marketing is the establishment of effective channel of the distribution. The various channel through which is the seed can be marketed very greatly according to the need of the seed company. present startup seed distribution. Here, the type of seed distribution system is in India, that is the farmer to farmer distribution, and distribution by cooperatives, distribution by Department of Agriculture, some non-government agencies also distribute. So first distribution is farmer to farmer distribution. This is the traditional method whereby the farmers obtain their requirement from neighbors either on cash payment or on exchange basis. So no formal marketing organization is required for this distribution. The second one is the distribution by cooperatives. So this cooperative means that is the subsequent distribution. The distribution of seed through the cooperative has often been encouraged by the government through subsidy or guarantees. So another agency to the Department of Agriculture of distribution. So seeds are purchased by the government out of the government fund and are distributed to district agricultural office. So another distribution by the non-government. So in this system, that is the best seeds are distributed to a network of seed distribution and seed dealers. So both the seed review teams, National and Commission of Agriculture. So for that, this is the establishment of seed marketing network to replace the role of the state governments to establish the system that will be adequate for the anticipated increase in the seed demand. In this connection, it is considered necessary that a network of seed dealers should be established. So here I showed you that is the marketing organization, seed marketing organization. Here. So I share to that one picture. So this is the central marketing, the regional officers, regional that the sale distributors and dealers are there. Agro sale services company crop owned sale crops are there. So here private corporates and agro sales. This is the marketing system. So the dealers and distributors are the last. Sorry. What happened here? That is the most important link the chain seed marketing between the dealers and distributors. These are the great responsibility. So some of the following responsibility for the dealers, which are self-explanatory, that is the ethical dealing and sale quality seeds only, proper storage of seeds, maintenance of attractive shops, and wise use of publicity, knowledge of product and competitors. The utmost care should be taken in the matter of appointment, selection of distributors and seed dealers. In this connection, uh, the due emphasis should be placed on the integrated marketing. The dealers involved in the seeding, fertilizers, pesticides, and other agriculture inputs should be preferred. The dealers and distributors network should be organized in such manner that is earlier and located with easy to reach the farmers. Okay, so that is the agreement of proper storage of seed at the strategical locations to end use areas. The transportation of seed from production area to end user area, it is the immense task and takes considerable um, time approach. So successful seed marketing depends upon the timely availability of seeds to dealer consumers. There are the delay due to non-availability of wagons, slow in the rainy season, movement of new trains also. So some of the buffer good zones are there. Godowns are several advantages. The seeds could be transported during the favorable weather conditions. This minimizes the risk of seed getting the damage during the transit. Assures timely supply delivered to dealers or distributors. Seed quality can be tested again after the seed which is reached to buffer go down to detect the any damage or loss of seeds during the transit. So disposal of carryover stock in certain circumstances, carryover stock may have been brought to the central office. So it is the necessitance the establishment of regional office in such areas because a person is required at such location all the times to make the supplies. A sound seed marketing system is desired to establish the seed marketing the regional office into areas and to arrange the buffer godowns. So if the caution should be taken, the selecting locations, that is the climate of the particular location should be little dry and cool. That is the storage and better to such areas. So cell generation activities. So that is in the cell generation activities. So promotional media, newspaper, cinema sets, holdings, radio, and meals, field demonstration, sales sets. All are very important in the promotional media. So newspaper jurisdiction use of Holdings. Holdings also these effectively for the year around publicity. Holdings should usually be multicolored, attractive, large, enough to be easily to see. So the whole location of holdings should be selected and ensure they are being seen by the maximum number of cultivars. Post-sale service. So in post-sales service, more emphasis should be placed on the education of farmers and how they can purchase the certified seed and protect themselves for the from the spurious seeds sellers. So purchase of certified seeds only from authorized dealers who exhibit prominently the dealership certified. In addition, technical help when the desired by the farmer and pick up follow follow up on the complaint about the seed sold are the factors most of the crucial importance in the post sale service. So some factors affecting in the seed marketing. What are the factors? Here, clear-cut policy. So a clear-cut policy for developing the seed industry, defining the tasks and responsibilities of the official, semi-officials and private economic sectors is necessary for the development of seed marketing on sound footing. Availability of well identified and adapted varieties. Needless to say, a seed program would not have any impact unless superior varieties are regularly funneled into the seed program. The current official information on new varieties that have been recommended and released for crop production in the accelerating the program. It is adequate production and storage and testing facilities. These are the necessary for the producing and maintaining seed quantities and qualities in accordance with the established standards vital for the development of sound marketing. Official program in a new varieties, hybrids are the first being the introduced, so particularly among small scale farmers. The government generally has to take the initiative and to promote the supply arrangement. Another important role of the government is to provide the market information to set the target and to regulate the control the array. So another official program. Many new varieties are first being introduced, particularly among the small scale farmers and demand the forecast, market intelligence, transport and storage arrangements, nature of product, and another finally the quality control program, publicity, finance, rewards. These are the important aspects in the marketing, seed market. Another one is the economics of seed production. That is another topic is the economics of seed production. So economics of seed production. So the crop means the seed crop that are the assuming the good agronomic practice based on the successful crop production as well as successful seed production. There is the cost of fundamental seed, cost of specialized planting, and rooming crops. So cost of their special operations, cost of partial supervision required in the raising seed crops, seed certification fee, and other expenses. These are so that is the seed drying, harvesting, and processing time. That is the cost means economic. The seed producers ensure that the following the additional expenses or losses after the seed crop has been certified and approved for the seed purpose. So separate harvesting of lots are rejecting the proportion of field and discussing the produce as commercial losses include due to drying to 10 to 12 percentage moisture content as compared to 12 to 14 percentage for the commercial crop. Sorting and rejections of undesirable materials, which is maize, earheads, the roots and sharp vegetables. So separate handlings in order to maintain the lot identity. Additional transport costs due to losses in seed process. So last, that it is the difference in the unauthorized under rejected seed processing and testing charges. Seed marketing cost also, that is the marketing cost consists of storage and transport expenses, interest and capital investment, distribution and sale promotion costs. The small topic is the seed pricing. So seed pricing is also important. That is the final marketing price of certified seeds, the result of number of interacting the components factor. It is described below. Input cost. So price paid to seed growers for a raw seed or fully processed seed depending upon the marketing scheme. Storage and transportation cost, distribution cost, wholesale margin, retail margin, sales promotion, risk cost, and profit. These are considered the seed price. Supply and demand. Total supply available and total damage which is generated by the dealers going to new acreage and credit availability. Also influence seed price. The prices of other farms products and time trend. So the time trend means time trend and price of other farms products should also be taken into consideration while the fixing the price. If due to food scarcity in the particularized zone, food price are fairly high, there is no reason why the seed should not be sold at a comparatively high price. High price in such a should be help in the preventing the consumption of seeds as food grade. So in this context, general philosophy should be fix the price at the level which the market can be at. So supply and demand. Here total supply available and total demand generated by the dealer. So you give you acreage and credit availability. On the other hand, if the seed supply is abundant, seed price may be very realistic and the profit margin reduced. Okay. So summary. So summary of the seed marketing. So seed marketing refers to the actual acquisition and selling of packet seeds. So intermediate storage, delivery, and sales promotional activities. In the present context, our discussion is limited to seed marketing in the narrow sense. Seed marketing mainly comprises the demand forecast marketing mm, structure, arrangements for storage of seeds, sales promotional activity, post sales service, and economic of seed production, seed pricing, seed marketing, which is greatly affected by the factors also. So that is the clear-cut policies and identified adequate varieties, adequate production, storage, and testing facilities, official program, demand forecast, marketing intelligence, transport and storage arrangements, and the nature of product quality control program, publicity and financial rewards. These are the important. So seed production cost must be kept as low as possible. The farmer or seed producers will not be interested in the seed production unless the price they are received allow them the reasonable profit. So this is the seed viability and marketing and economic of seeds. Okay. So నిమ్మకాయలు ఈడ ఎందుకు పెట్టి నిమ్మకాయలు తీసుకుపోమన్నా